It's 2 o'clock and this is POUT News, where parents come first, the news comes second, and your teens come last. This week we're talking about a new study testing whether our teens are in fact rebels. Susan, can you tell us more about that?
We spied on y'all.
Yeah, we did. And we found out that our teens are rebels. They're horrible rebels who won't do anything we tell them to. We go now live to our news reporter, Paul, asking the team who conducted this study some questions.
They're little devils.
Hi, I'm Paul, out in the field. I'm being told this is the wrong field.
Paul here, back in the field with Sophie and Sophia. Why don't you tell us about your experiment?
Well, you see, we set up an experiment to figure out whether teenagers are rebels or not. And we have concluded that teenagers are, in fact, rebels.
So how did this experiment go exactly?
Well, we set up a hidden camera in the back of the classroom, along with a button labeled "Do Not Press." Then we proceeded to record proceedings for about 15 minutes.
That sounds fascinating. Do we have some of that footage?
I believe we do.
Let's cut to it, Sherry.
So what exactly are we looking at here, Sophia?
Well, first, let's get some background. When we came up with this idea, us 5 scientists decided to go get a red "That Was Easy" button and set it up in this classroom in high school and see how many kids would press it when it specifically says not to on the sign located directly above the button. But as you can see in this video, children are still pressing the button.
Yes, it is very apparent.
And see, here, this kid, he's taking a picture of it. And that has to do with social media. You know, these days, just the amount of social media, it's baffling.
I bet he's gonna Snapchat or Instagramming that.
Maybe even Twitter, MySpace.
It's horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. And what is this kid doing here?
See, he's making fun of the sign that says "Do Not Touch." Here, he's not touching it, but he's mocking it.
Mocking it? Wow. The disrespect. This generation. It seems as though they're all crowding around that button.
Yes, we think some of the reasons that people have pressed the button is due to peer pressure.
In many of these instances, you can see many pairs of feet surrounding. And we can believe that the reason these kids press the button so often is a result of these kids telling their peer to press the button. It's peer pressure. It all boils down to peer pressure.
Peer pressure. Peer pressure is such an awful topic, growing. So you could say that these children were really pushing the limit, couldn't you? Ha. Ha.
I guess you could. This is an interesting piece of footage here. We don't know exactly what happened, but we think this student might believe that the button is a trick and meant to shock the person who presses it.
But yet he still presses the button?
Apparently.
Teenagers.
Their brains just aren't fully developed yet.
So, this experiment proves that even though a sign specifically says not to touch a button, teenagers will still press it because they are rebellious in nature, and peer pressure is just too strong for the kids of that age.
Thank you, Sophie and Sophia. This has been a nice talk.
And we're back. Thanks to Paul for that lovely interview.
So thanks to the research team for researching.
Good research they do over there.
Yeah.
But our teens, what is this generation coming to?
I don't know.
It's
outrageous.
horrible. They don't follow
Outrageous.
anything we tell them to do. We need to start a program over the summer. We should show them videos about why breaking the rules is bad.
Short films that we produce ourselves.
Like this one we made this morning.
Hey, You can't touch that button.
How about that film now, Susan?
Well, it was quite filmy.
Very, very filmy, yeah.
Super filmy. If you would like to give us feedback on our short films, you can visit us at teenscomelast.net.com.
And that's it for POUT News. Come catch us next week at 2 o'clock.